think you're kind of at odds with this person. I think this is a love reading, but there's kind of a separation or some really strong boundaries that have been put in place, and it could be over something kind of silly, or maybe not. Like, it was inflated, it was made to be a bigger deal than it needed to be. And I can see the collective working to foster an environment that would, allow good communication. And I think there's communication needed, right? There's maybe, I'm hearing something about like reconciliation or just like clarification. But there's also something here. I think that for some of you guys, there's a feeling of like dread that this is a hard ending. And I also think that there's something about this that says maybe a part of you feels like the relationship itself has been working toward an ending for a while. And so I think this reading, I think the intention or the purpose of this reading, what I'm here to help you with, is to kind of determine, I don't know, like, are you moving towards an ending? But I want to start out with the other person's energy because, I don't know, I'm curious, but I also think it'll kind of help inform a lot of your next moves. King of Wands, King of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. This person wants to stabilize a future. And like very seriously here. This is the Star. There's Three of Wands too at the bottom. Like, there's a pretty heavy emphasis on where the both of you are going and what could be. Five of Swords, Eight of Pentacles. If you know, then you know that I hate to see the Five of Swords, particularly in a love reading. So there is something here about value, worth, maybe contribution, but it's very competitive with the Eight of Pentacles alongside of the Five of Swords. It's like almost like this person is looking at and judging personal accomplishments or like career or like the line of work, right? And they're kind of saying like, yeah, justice. They're kind of saying like, I need to be better, or I want better from you, or just for themselves. I don't really know here. But I don't know specifically what that could translate to in that person, but I know that the energy is gross, right? Let's get your energy here. Ace of Wands, motivated for something new. I think that your sights are in the right place, and I do like that you're showing up here as the Ace of Wands and they showed up as the, wow, this is really complimentary. Okay, so like you have the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. The other person's energy was the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles. This is very complimentary, very balanced. You both, I'm hearing like your heart is in the right place. Your heart is in the same place. Nine of Wands though for your energy. So yeah, there is a divide. There is a guard up. Four of Swords, Seven of Wands. You are convicted about something. The Fool, the Six of Wands. You're very convicted about something that I think the relationship has, I'm hearing the word convoluted. So I think the essence of the relationship and like the why behind the partnership has kind of been lost. And like as I'm saying this, it's kind of an interesting feeling that I'm getting. Like I'm feeling a little bit blurred. I'm feeling a little bit like, yeah, five of Cups. Like I'm feeling a little bit like dismayed is a word that comes to mind. Hang on. Queen of Swords, Four of Wands, Two of Wands, the Lovers, Ten of Pentacles. There is no denying what you've achieved together, but yeah, see, Nine of Wands again. King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. You understand that whatever has been done here, whatever happened, is kind of, I don't know, I'm hearing the word defining, but I am also seeing you kind of being on the fence about this, and also with the Queen of Swords here, it's almost like you're giving space, or you're creating a boundary, maybe, wherein that can be sorted out. You know, it's like letting the dust settle, right? You're letting the dust settle. I want to get incoming energy, which I've been doing recently, and I don't always love to do it for collective readings, but I don't know, we're coming up on, like, this is timeless, but we're coming up on kind of like a wild astrological time here, and there's a part of me that is really, like, curious, like, what is this going to be like? What is this experience? Because this is astrology we've never, ever experienced before. And I mean, really, this being a timeless reading, that holds, right? Any astrology that is taking place at any time that you're seeing this, there are things going on that have never happened before. So, so let's get a picture of what's coming in and maybe how that might look or unfold, how it might affect this connection. I have the Five of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. When the Queen of Wands came out, I heard there's you. Not sure if that's my projection, though, to be honest. Two of Cups, Four of Cups, Two of Cups, Four of Cups. I'm hearing couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. So there is something here that you are actively denying in this situation. Four of Pentacles, you're actively denying or withholding. Page of Cups, though, there is a curiosity here, even though there's, like, still this isolated effect. It does feel like willing, like it feels like it's being facilitated. Is there going to be communication between this couple? The Eight of Cups, the Devil, the Hermit, the King of Swords, the Seven of Wands. That's looking like a no. But I want to ask again, splitting to the Lovers, that, yeah, I'm going to ask again, and maybe we'll get something a little bit further out, because that just, there's something about that doesn't feel complete. I think that there's so much motivation here. I'll show you the Oracle cards I have. Confidence, overcoming obstacles, dreams, protection, and guardianship, with romance here at the bottom of the deck, boundaries under that. So it's telling me that, like, maybe there's a lot of effort in protecting yourself, but I think there's also the reason why you're protecting yourself here, and maybe both of you, is for the sake of the relationship, right? So tell me more about any incoming communication, and then we'll get advice. Two of Pentacles, still on the fence about that. Five of Cups, King of Wands reversed, Ace of Swords, the Chariot, the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Let's get a little bit more here. I don't want to run out of time. Page of Wands, Nine of Wands. Yeah, I don't think that either of you are really open to it, but when the Magician and the Eight of Wands, we're going to have to create some openness. The Fool, we're going to have to create some openness here. Ace of Cups, for a kind of communication that is safe and not criticizing, so that communication can flow effectively. Guidance, hang on. This is a situation that I can't help but worry that things are going to get swept under the rug. I have bashfulness, balance, introspection, creative ingenuity, hope, and ending and healing. So, you know, there is desire. Page of Pentacles and its transverse, Ten of Cups, Six of Cups. There's definitely desire to create space, but Knight of Wands, there was also the Ten of Swords at the bottom there. Nine of Swords, this might just need to take more time, dude. Like, really, when it comes down to it, Knight of Swords, it's looking like where we're at right now, there's just not enough support. Yeah, so Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, there's just not enough support or, like, healthy confidence, because the confidence card did come out, but in the way that it's translating here, it kind of feels a little bit messy if it's coming through, like, right away. We don't want to rush this. And the Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and Six of Cups, this is something that, like, you've gone this far, not in the separation, but just together in the relationship, that I almost feel like, please don't make this fit, okay? Because some of you guys, I feel like, are excusing things that might be irreparable, and I do not want you to use this as an excuse to let someone get away with something terrible, right? So that's up for you to discern. But For the rest of you, just take the space and use it wisely.